Yeah, this is Black Light. Once more time. And the difference between Elijah, students, and teachers. I want to touch on Supreme Minister John Muhammad before we end this. Supreme Minister John Muhammad talked about Master Farad a lot also. And he told me about those days when he first got in the FOI, or student minister class. He told me how the bow tie came about. And at another time, I teach y'all about the bow tie and about some other things. But because when I ask questions, I like to know, I like to get to the root. I go to the root. So I talk about Master Farad. You know, I was more interested in Master Farad than uh, actually Elijah. Uh, I was more interested in those days that Master Farad came to the house of Elijah and had meetings in the house when John was there. If John was there to hear what they had talked about, I was more interested in that. Uh, that's the kind of type of guy I am. I like to go to the top. You know, I cut the, I like to cut the middleman out. You know, I always take it to the top. You know, it's like if I had a beef with the president, like I talk to the president, I would talk to the vice president. That's how I am. Uh, so Elijah, Supreme Minister John Muhammad, were key factors uh, in the development of the Nation of Islam by Supreme Minister John Muhammad being the master. He was in charge of the schools, the teachers. He was a teacher, and he obeyed the voice of Master Farad. See, same as Elijah. Now, there's so many different sects now in the Nation of Islam. Because Clarence X, he went and developed the Nation of Gods and Earth. And they say they ain't Muslims, but Elijah said that we Muslims. See, it ain't. We treating this like gang names. Like you got the Crips and the Bloods. See, a Muslim, you got to be a Muslim, even to be born. Because you're following the laws, you got to follow the laws to be born properly. When you're a sperm, you got to travel that law. You got to go, you got to hear that code, that vibration, and travel the path of that law to even to be born. Because if you don't, something gonna happen. You ain't gonna make it. And it's something in you got to want to follow the law, you know, to be born in order for you to make it. You see, now that's where we get it twisted at right there. You're a Muslim in the womb of your mother. You're a Muslim when you come out your mother. But when you're born into this wicked system, your mother ain't a Muslim no more. And your father not a Muslim, because they following Satan laws and don't follow the voice of Allah no more. And so when you come out, you depend on your mother and father for nourishment and food and development. So you following them, your mother and father, and they following Satan. They was taught by Satan. So they students of Satan. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the society, or they would be rebellion. They would be warring against Satan. And they would teach their offspring to war against Satan. So we still don't realize that. And that's why Master Farad came, to give us a rebirth, so we could follow him. But we had 1 foot in the backyard, in the front yard of Satan, and 1 foot in the backyard of Master Farad. Black light.